tell me Rosh Chodesh is coming up. Rosh Chodesh is going to be this week Shabbos and Sunday. Although I'll be putting this out for Matzah Shabbos, I'm giving you a couple of other things this week. So let's see where we could fit this in. Okay, Rosh Chodesh. We know it's the fourth mitzvah in the Torah after getting married, after having a bris milah, right? Ber mitzvah and not to eat gid hanasha, and the fourth one is Rosh Chodesh. There's great significance in the passage of time. As a very well-versed scholar of the 21st century, kept on repeating once in a speech. I don't want to get too political right now, but what is it about keeping time? Hashem wants us to keep time according to the moon, not according to the sun. There are many places that we could go with this. Kiddush HaChodesh, right? The renewal of the new moon. When there are many places to go with it, like the sun and the moon. Why does the moon become bigger and smaller? But in a case where we would have Rosh Chodesh, where it would be Sunday only, not Shabbos, because Shabbos we have the Haftarah of Shabbos Rosh Chodesh, but if it would be just on Sunday, which can't be for Tammuz, because if Rosh Chodesh Tammuz would be Sunday and Monday, that means Av would be Tuesday, El would be Wednesday and Thursday, and it means Rosh Hashanah first day would be Friday, and Loi Adu Rosh. Rosh Hashanah cannot be not Sunday, not Wednesday, not Friday. So there's no way that calculation could work out. But let's go like this. When Rosh Chodesh is on Sunday and not on Shabbos, we have a Haftarah called Machar Chodesh. Okay, the story about David and Yonasan. Okay, Yonasan, the son of King Shaul. Okay, Shaul HaMelech, King Saul. His son Yonasan loved David with such a love that would never end. Okay, even the Mishnah calls this type of friendship, this type of love, the greatest love possible on earth, I guess. Actually, it doesn't refer to it as the greatest love, rather that it's a love that will never sever, a love that will never break. And hopefully that is with all of the other loves we have in our life. The Mishnah says, a love that is dependent on something will soon fall apart. And a love that isn't dependent on anything, rather it's unconditional, will stay forever. Okay, so which one is the love that is unconditional? Like the love between David and Yonasan. Okay, so now we're going to learn about a story with them. So King Shaul usually made his big Rosh Chodesh party, and David HaMelech, since he was one of the servants in the palace, he would actually play music for Shaul HaMelech very often. Shaul HaMelech was depressed once Shmuel HaNavi told him that the kingdom would be ripped away from him because he didn't kill Amalek. He kept the animals and he didn't kill the leader, which Haman came out of that, and that's Binyamin, right? Shevet Binyamin. Shaul HaMelech was Binyamin. Mordechai Tzaddik, Ish Yamini, he was also Binyamin, fixing the problem from the previous generation, right? So Shaul HaMelech was very depressed, and David HaMelech started singing and playing music for him. And as he would play, Shaul HaMelech would come back to life. So over here, David HaMelech was not particularly interested in going to the Suda. So he told Yonasan, I know that I want to check if your father is going to really get mad at me. I don't know if he's mad at me and he wants to kill me, or if it's a madness that's going to pass. And so he said, you know what, I'm not going to show up to the Rosh Chodesh. I'm not going to show up to it and to the meal, and let me know how your father reacts. And yep, that's exactly what happened. Shaul HaMelech got really mad. You know, it's a longer story. I'm just going very quickly. Shaul HaMelech got very angry, and he threw his spear across the room. So Yonasan upped and left, and he went into the field and he shot the arrow. And they had this simon that they created for each other, that if I say that the arrow is closer to me, that means you could come back and nothing is wrong. If the arrow is further away, that means you have to run. And to think about it, Yonasan was the son of the king. He would have been the next in line. He was the prince. He was the next person to take over. And he knew that Hashem promised that David HaMelech is going to become king. So he gave away his throne to David, even though it was inconceivable because of his position. It was like he's giving away his own throne to somebody else, and he still loved them so much. So when Rosh Chodesh comes, we renew our moon. Okay, what is the moon? And especially when we do Rosh Chodesh, when we do Kiddush HaChodesh, we say David Melech Yisrael Chai V'Kayam, right? We speak about David HaMelech. So to think about what is the connection between Rosh Chodesh, the moon, and King David, right? It's a very interesting thing to look into it. So let's do that. So David HaMelech was the rise of a new dawn. Okay, as Shaul HaMelech, he was the first king. It was like a trial, although it was very, very well, it worked out, as long as it did, and Hashem liked him, Hashem chose him, and he was Mashiach Hashem. David HaMelech came and stepped in and took it back to Yehuda and brought back the kingdom to this family. Yehuda was the king, and now David was king, and he's continuing this legacy. Not just that, his kids and grandkids never ended, as we see Hashem promised him that they'll be forever. As you see, Kapitel 89, Perek 89, you'll see that. And so you have that with David HaMelech, that he renewed the kingdom to Shevet Yehuda. Then you go into the new moon. Okay, the new moon. As we go back to the beginning of times, when Hashem created the sun and the moon, He created them both the same size, and the moon complained. The moon was like, "Hey, we can't have two large kings in the sky." So Hashem said, "You know what? You moon, you will become small. But when Mashiach will come, the moon will once again be the same size as before, as it was when it was created." So we know that the kingdom down here on earth with David HaMelech, as we go through history, that lifetime is it's like a small moon. There's a small moon. It comes and it goes, different periods, different times, and we have to respect those times. We have to accept as we go from one day to the next, as we go from 1 year to the next, and through lifetimes and different people and different chapters of history. We have to accept that time moves at its pace, and that's exactly how Hashem wants it. And that's like, okay, we had a kingdom, the kingdom fell apart, but don't worry, the kingdom of David still follows through until this day. The leaders of our nation, and all throughout, we had Rebbe, and we had different people throughout generations that took on this mantle to carry King David's legacy all throughout. So the small moon will eventually become the big one, and that's what we're looking forward to when we're going to have Mashiach come back again. And of course, David HaMelech, Mashiach ben David, and David HaMelech himself is Mashiach. He is anointed. So in order to become king, you have to be anointed. And Yonasan was looking forward to that day. One day they'll come to him with that bottle of oil off, from the shofar, off the belt of the Navi, and he's going to take his finger and put it across his forehead. And he was so looking forward to it, to have that name of Mashiach, to be the person, to be the Redeemer, to be the one that's the anointed one, in order to bring God's people together and have them all in one place in this big light under his rule. And but Shaul HaMelech messed up, and sometimes, when you mess up, even though your kids don't necessarily get a direct hit because of it, but your choice makes that the future should look differently. If somebody turned right instead of left, he chose a certain lifestyle for himself, his kids will benefit of that lifestyle. It's not that it's a punishment to the kids necessarily. Rather, it's that the kids of the future generation are just living off the choice that you made until they choose differently. Okay, so it's a way to put it into perspective how time slowly brings back everything to the beginning. The father messed up, and the kid comes and fixes it. And bru karadavia. The son is the footstool of the father. He takes care. He takes care of the things that happened in the previous generation, and this is how it goes on the cycle all the way forward. But one day we look forward. We'll have Rosh Chodesh one more time. We'll be able to come back to Yerushalayim and be Mekadosh the Chodesh with King David, with Mashiach, and we'll be able to have the Rosh Chodesh where we'll be dancing around Hashem, the ultimate light, in the future, when the moon will be one big kingdom. It will be we'll be able to have double the amount of light, and it will be a day that will never end, and we look forward to that. So that's what we do Rosh Chodesh. That's the meaning that you could add to yourself. If you have any questions, let me know. Reach out. I'd be happy to have conversations with anybody, anyone who's interested. Please reach out. I would love to have a video. Maybe we could put it up on the channel as well. Anything. You want to talk about meaning, you want to talk about thought, or you want to talk about Torah, or even politics, or anything. Please reach out, and we'll make it happen. All right. Enjoy, and have a great, great Chodesh. Be well.